Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the Siley Stats YouTube channel. And today is a very special video because we are covering the last of the state results, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what this channel's content is going to look like going into nationals, and my plans for nationals, and maybe plans for after nationals. We'll see how much time I have. I don't really know how long this is going to take. So yeah, let's just get into it. So Michigan is the last, or I should say, was the last state to host their state results. And in case you're wondering, as I did, if Michigan was the last state because they are hosting nationals, I asked Sentient Tree that, and he basically said, no, not really. Michigan usually just hosts their state competition very late, so this is nothing out of the ordinary for them. However, what is out of the ordinary is Grand Haven not making nationals. So if you're unfamiliar, Grand Haven was the Michigan state champion last year. You can see they did pretty well too, getting 13th. This year, though, they're not going back. They lost to Pioneer, who got first, and Novi, who got second. So congratulations to Pioneer and Novi, and especially Pioneer for being the Michigan state champion. Now, something you might notice about these results is that these scores are really not great. Like if we look at Michigan last year, let's see here. Yeah, we look at Michigan last year. You can see Pioneer had a score lower than 100. This year, none of these do. Not even close, really. So, yeah, I think Michigan as a state this year, is going to be significantly is going to do significantly worse at nationals, and that is reflected in my ranking here, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So that might be it for Michigan, honestly. Rather unceremonious. I guess the other thing to talk about is how close these scores were. Novi actually could have beaten. Oh, there is one more thing to talk about that I just remembered as well. Novi actually could have beaten Pioneer to be the Michigan state champion if things just went a little bit better for them in a couple events, maybe. Maybe just, I apologize if you can hear that. There's a sporting event going on in the soccer field right next to my dorm, so sorry if you can hear that. But anyway, yeah, if things just went a little bit better for Novi, maybe they could have beaten Pioneer and been the Michigan state champion. But speaking of which, Novi, this is the first time, by the way, I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, given my track record. So, yeah, if I am incorrect, please forgive me. But Novi, this is the first time that Novi is going to nationals. So special congratulations to Novi for being and this Novi team in particular for being the first from your school to make it to nationals. Congratulations. So, whoopsies. With that, we have two more things to talk about with regard to nationals and what teams are attending. And that is Pembroke Hill and Westminster Plainsboro North. So two more states dropped their trip to nationals. We don't know which two states, so I still have all the states in here, and I'll be ranking all the states. But yeah, we don't know which two states, so I'm not going to take any teams off the list. But two states did drop, so that means Pembroke Hill and Westminster Plainsboro North from Missouri and New Jersey, respectively, are now going to nationals. So if we take another look at each of their state results, Westminster Plainsboro North, again, lost to Montgomery by a pretty significant margin here. Not doing quite as well as they possibly hoped, but they lucked out. They got their spot to nationals. And in fact, according to, again, Sentient Tree, this is the first time in quite a long time that I think it's 5 states have dropped their trip to nationals. So we'll have the amount of teams there won't be any different, but we'll have less states represented, which I suppose is a bad thing. So yeah, Westminster Plainsboro North lucked out. They got their trip to nationals this year. So congratulations, Westminster Plainsboro. North, I should say. There are two. I didn't know this at the start of the season. There are two Westminsters, North and South. So North goes to nationals. South still does not. I don't know how many teams would need to drop for Westminster Plainsboro South to make it to nationals. But that would be pretty funny if we got three teams from a single state going to nationals. If that did happen, it probably wouldn't. New Jersey probably wouldn't be top of the list. I'm thinking maybe like Texas or California would be. Um, very, very likely won't happen though. So let's not waste time talking about it. And next we have Missouri. I always forget these M's, these M state abbreviations always mix me up. But I believe this is Missouri. And as I talked about before, Loudoun was the Missouri State champion. For a while, I thought they were going to be the only team from Missouri going to nationals. But fortunately for Pembroke Hill, I was incorrect. Missouri was at the top of the list for teams to substitute in if states dropped their trip to nationals, and Pembroke Hill benefits from that. So congratulations, Pembroke Hill, for being the second team from Missouri to go to nationals this year. And just to give you guys an idea, last year at nationals, Missouri only sent. Actually, Missouri did send two, maybe. Yeah, they did. Oh, look at that. It was Pembroke Hill again. Oh, was I? Oh, no. Okay. I was like scrolled over here, and I thought that maybe like when I talked about Grand Haven earlier, I was looking at some random events results instead of the overall. But yeah, Grand Haven did get 13th. Anyway, yeah, back to Missouri. So Loudoun was, of course, the Missouri State champion last year. They got 22nd, and Pembroke Hill actually did make nationals last year. Missouri did send two teams, and they got 35th. And then New Jersey, whoopsies. This one's only showing one, Westminster Plainsboro North. Sometimes I need to put a period there. Nope. So New Jersey just sent one team last year. Yeah. And this year, of course, they're sending two, like I said. So the big question is, where are these teams ranking? So as you can see, I've started drafting my national predictions. This is a little sneak peek of that. Obviously, I'm not done, but I also have some more color coding to go over. So red are teams that I want to take a closer look at. So this, I forget what this abbreviation is, honestly. North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics. I have them pretty low. I looked at Sentient Tree, shared his prediction with me. He had them much higher, so I want to take another look at this team and see if they deserve to be higher or lower or whatnot. This isn't a team I'm super familiar with, so hopefully I can familiarize myself with this team and be able to more accurately place them. And then purple is a team that I have very little data on. So usually this is going to be only one invitational, or maybe not even an invitational, maybe just their state competition or just their regional competition and state competition. And particularly when I'm comparing them to other national level teams, because of course to rank these teams among each other, I need to compare them to each other. So if they haven't faced each other, it's really hard to assess. When I'm getting down to like here, and all these teams only compete in their state competition, and like the regional competition, it's really tough to assess how they'll do when they're competing against teams from other states. Excuse me. So yeah, when I get to some of the smaller states, it'll be a little harder to assess. So you'll see a lot of this purple down at the bottom, I expect. So let's talk about Westminster. Pembroke Hill, I have not ranked yet. I might put them here above Ed Clark. I don't know. We'll see. No guarantees about anything right now. But Westminster Plainsboro North, I'm going to put at 16th. And let me explain why. So Westminster Plainsboro North honestly hasn't been doing that great this year. Still, doing fine in some tournaments, but I mean, I constantly compare them to Montgomery, and maybe that's a mistake because Montgomery is extremely good this year. But I mean, here, unstacked, they lost to both of Montgomery's teams. When they're super scored, they do manage to beat Lower Marion, which is rather impressive. But if I remember correct from earlier when I was looking at that tournament might be their. Oh no, MIT. Sorry, MIT. They did fantastic at. This is an absolutely amazing performance from them. Um, but then you look at some other things, and here at Battle at Valley Forge, this was a while ago. So was MIT actually. MIT was quite a while ago as well. Um, but yeah, losing to CV on the super score by quite a large margin, losing to Lower Marion on the super score by quite a large margin. Again, super scores are a little weird because, like we just saw, that when they're super scored, they beat a stacked Lower Marion. So yeah, it's a little weird. Um, and then yeah, so that's actually it. All I have for Westminster. Yeah, so I decided to put them here, not necessarily because they might be ahead of Enloe. This was a tough. These three teams, honestly, these three teams are really tough for me to rank. Oh, excuse me. Um, Cumberland Valley, of course. I am a Cumberland Valley alumni, so I'm going to be inherently biased towards them. I think this is a fair ranking for them, though. I can see CV getting maybe 16th here, falling behind these two teams. But I don't think any lower than 16th for CV. And then Enloe is a little strange. Um, like MIT, they did fine, I guess. Not great, but fine. Not super bad, I guess. And then at Boyceville, they didn't do that great. This was probably not their full strength, though. And then here at Siali Outreach, this they dominated, and they I think they might have gone stacked actually. I don't know. But yeah, we look at their most recent performance at an invitational, which is Soup. CV beat them just barely, not a significant margin, but they did manage to beat them. And Soup, honestly, in my opinion, Soup is up there with maybe a little bit lower than Solon, but in the same category of very, very competitive national level tournaments with a lot of national level teams. You can see now I recognize some of these other teams: Centennial and Ward Melville, Great Neck South, and of course Montgomery, CV, Enloe, Harriton. Like all these teams. Actually, all these teams other than Great Neck South are attending nationals this year, so you can see now why I think maybe Soup is a very good indication of where things stand here. And it's also relatively recent for an invitational. Obviously, we have some more recent ones here. But Soup being February 17th is relatively recent for an invitational. But yeah, this, again, losing to CV, this could really go either way. Again, things just went a little bit better for Enloe in some of these events, then maybe they could have beaten CV here. But I have CV ahead for now. And excuse me, man. And Westminster behind for now. Honestly, man, Westminster might be ahead of Enloe. They really might be. I was looking at their results from earlier, and I was like, yeah, these aren't really that good. But now that I'm looking at them, like these aren't bad. Like I mean, Princeton, super scored, they do fine. What did I just do? Okay, I don't really know what I did there. Whatever. Yeah, Princeton. This is fine. Super scored, they do pretty good. MIT's amazing. Battle at Valley Forge is really their only kind of weak point, and even then, this isn't a bad score. Like, who cares if CV and Lower Marion beat you super scored? Like, it's not bad. I guess they lost to like Great Neck South here, is the thing. And Great Neck South, of course, did not end up making nationals. They were beat out by Ward Melville, so for the second New York spot. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I was thinking like, oh, Lower Marion beat them here, and then Lower Marion didn't even make nationals. But super scored, they beat Lower Marion by a decent margin. So, and I honestly super scored, they beat Montgomery. Their super scores are pretty close, but still. You know what? I think I'm gonna move Westminster up. I'm gonna move him ahead of Enlow. I think I'll keep him behind CV for now. Um, I don't know. I might. I'll. Honestly, the more I look at this, the more I'm probably gonna move them up. So I mean, I don't know. I might take another look at this before I release my national prediction video. But but yeah, this could really they could be anywhere from 16th to 14th. Honestly, maybe even ahead of Madison West. I don't know. Definitely not up here in the top 10, but definitely not a bad performance I'm expecting from them. Sounded like Yoda there for a second. Whatever. Um, yeah. So that. Oh yeah, right. I forgot to mention this. So in my last video, I said something to the effect of we didn't have any like data on Madison West. There we go. We didn't have any good data for Madison West. And Sentient Tree pointed out to me that they attended MIT. So, and they got 14th. I mean, that's pretty good at MIT. Um, so the question is then why didn't I add them? Like I added all these teams down here, but I didn't add Madison West. And like a lot of these other gaps were just from B teams. Like Seven Lakes B team, I think might have gotten 15th there. And other than that, I mean, another B team in here maybe. Um, but yeah, Madison West was really the only like school that got in the top 20, I guess, that I didn't include. So the question is why? And thinking about that really got me to assess some of my biases, especially like when I first started making videos here. Like I talked about MIT relatively early in the season, pretty early, decently early tournament here. Um, so I was unaware, of course, of who Madison West was. I didn't know they were so competitive. Um, but yeah, so thank you, Sentient Tree, for making me realize that that was wrong of me to not include Madison West. And like I was telling them like, oh yeah, I know all these other teams are competitive down here. And then he was like, well, then why didn't you say this team that placed ahead of all these teams was competitive? And I was like, that's a good point. I never thought of it like that. I just didn't know who they were. So yeah, that was a mistake on my part. So I apologize if you're from Madison West and you were aghast when I didn't put you in the MIT. But here you are. I amended that. So your data is in here, and I can look at that when I'm assessing where you will do in at nationals. So I believe that is everything like here that I want to talk about. Now let's talk a little bit about where this channel's headed in the next couple weeks, and how and what I'm planning to do. So uh, obviously, Nationals is coming up fast here. We are in this. If you remember my tournament break, my season breakdown. Um, the Nationals phase. We are well in the Nationals phase now. I have it from late April to late May, and of course, ending when Nationals actually occurs. Um, so yeah, we're fast approaching nationals, and my plan, if you were unaware, is to go to nationals. I'll be attending. I will probably be doing something similar that I did at Solon, going around and interviewing teams that won interviewed. Of course, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not a reporter. I'm just curious. I'm not gonna, heckle you for an interview. But if your team would like an interview, I could do one. Um, and of course, I'll be trying to go after, especially these top 20, I'd say, teams. Trying to get an interview with as many of these teams as I can to find out what their goals are for nationals, and yeah, really, that's the main thing, and maybe asking them about some of their tournament performances. Like I know at Solon, I asked teams about like what their what are they most proud of their team for achieving. I'll probably ask that um, as well here. So yeah, if your team would like an interview, I would gladly do one. Um, And then I'll be trying to get, I should say, an interview with some of these other teams that are outside of the top 20, like Iolani. God, if you're from Iolani, I want to hear about Hawaii, about Science Olympiad in Hawaii. It just seems so cool to me. Um, yeah, I'll be trying to find Iolani and trying to get an interview with them. That would be awesome. Um, but yeah, I want to interview as many of these teams as I can. So that's the goal at nationals, and then of course I'll be watching the award ceremony. I won't be live streaming it since for PA they didn't want me live streaming. I'm going to assume they don't want me live streaming for nationals as well. They'll almost certainly have a live stream of the awards that you can watch, um, of course, without any commentary. So yeah, you could do that if you just want to watch the awards. However, I'll probably do something similar to what I did at Solon. I'll start recording after they've announced awards, and give my comments on it, like, oh, this team did really well and I expected them to do not so well, or this team didn't medal, I expected them to do well, that sort of thing. Maybe, you know what, maybe I won't do that sort of thing though, because the thing is, for Solon, I was able to make like a comprehensive prediction for I can actually find this. Um, Here we go. For all these teams, all these competitive teams that attended Solon. I'm not going to do this for nationals. I am not going to go through every single team. Even if I were to just do this with the top 20 teams at nationals, this would take forever. I am not going to do that. Um, so I'll be ranking all the teams attending nationals. I will not be ranking them in all the events. That will be way too much. And I mean, some of these teams we don't have any data on. So like, it's just going to be a shot in the dark, really. Where's my thing here? Here we go. Like, I mean, you can already see I have a bunch of purple here. Like, once we get down below Edward Clark here, like, I might not even have an invitational performance to look at for some of these teams. So it'll be really tough to rank those teams among each other, and some of it'll probably just be guesswork. And based off of the last national competition, I guess I can go off of that as well. So yeah, just a heads up. I don't expect this bottom part to be too accurate. So I believe that's it. I don't know if I'll upload. Well, okay. I will, like I said, I'll be uploading a national prediction video. And I'm planning, I'll probably split that into two parts. Part one will probably just talk about the top 20. And then part two will talk about all of this other stuff. Because I know that I'm going to talk way too long about all these teams. So, yeah. And yeah, that's going to be the last video that you see, or the last two videos that you see before nationals. And of course, I'll be making a nationals vlog like I did with Solon. I might publish the interviews in a separate video. I was thinking about doing that for Solon, was publishing the interviews in its own video, so that people can just watch the interviews if they want, and don't have to sit through me, driving for like 30 minutes. Um, but yeah, so I might do that for nationals, especially if I get like 20 interviews. Like, I'll probably make those a separate video, so the video's not like 2 hours long. And then as far as after nationals, I will most certainly be making a nationals analysis. That's kind of similar to how I did with MIT and Solon. I'll be saying this team, did really well, or this team didn't do as well as I thought. And that'll probably be the last video that you see from me in a while. Over the summer, I was thinking about making a video where I rank all of the events for next year, or maybe put them in a tier list or something, because I consider myself a little bit of an event connoisseur. At least if it's not a build event. I never did build events, so I don't really know how to rank those. But I just realized why was that so big? I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, that's kind of where things are headed here. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I want to say for this video. So, like I said, the next video you see from me will be my national prediction video, more than likely. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys at nationals, hopefully. Have a great day. Bye.